With the old Sharps, 1874 Montana Roughrider. Yeah, Buffalo gun, 4570. Pretty cool, huh? Got a couple of targets out there, and we'll just knock them around a little bit maybe and yak at you some. Glad you came by, and I will see you in a moment. How's that sound? A Cock 45, your internet shooting companion with a 4570. You saw it on the table. Let's take a shot. Oh man. Yeah. Wake up the gong. Yes, your internet shooting companion. Coming to you from the beautiful hills of Middle Tennessee. Look at that beauty. Yes, the home of Pat Summitt, Jeff Quinn, Alvin York, Morgan Freeman. Elvis was here most of his life. We could go on forever, right? With all the cool folks that live in Tennessee. Man, what a beauty. Probably some mountain men came through here at some point. We had mountain men in Tennessee because we have some mountains. Not as big as the Rockies, but they're older. Yeah, we do have some mountains, yes, in East Tennessee. If you've been through Tennessee, you know that in West Tennessee, there are not too many high mountains. Yeah, really. Pretty flat in West Tennessee. Progressively becomes hillier and more mountainous as you move eastward in Tennessee. And you could say the same for Kentucky. That's Georgia, yeah, some other states, right? Right here kind of on the boundary of the Appalachians, and then moving out into the plains, I guess. So Mississippi River Basin or whatever. But yeah, here I am. Cold today. Got my little sheer gloves on. My fingers are still rather cold. But here I am, sacrificing for you all, right? Taking shots. You might not have any ammo. I've got a little, so I'm going to shoot mine for you, all right? You don't have to pay to shoot it. Your own ammo. I'll shoot your ammo for you. So yes, here we are, and big week, and you probably saw the Glock 18 issue there. It is on the way to or at Glock by now, I think. So we'll see how that turns out and what becomes of that. And as I said in the video, the Glock 18 video, we'll do a follow-up video on that, and hopefully with the same firearm, maybe a new slide. I don't know. That's Silencer Central's thing, and hopefully they get that remedied, because those things are, well, they're expensive. They're incredibly expensive, maybe. It's a weird place the Glock 18 falls into. It's a little different, I guess, from most Class 3 firearms, select fire firearms, because there are a lot of them out there. There's still a lot of people, you can tell from the comments, think they're illegal, and they're not. They're just expensive. They take a lot of time to get, paperwork, maybe a year, like a suppressor, or maybe longer. But they're a lot more expensive, okay, because they're like real estate. You know, can't make any more of them that are transferable, you know, since '86, and so whatever's there is there, just like this land. Not any more of it being made, and unfortunately, so it's the laws that make them so expensive. You know, the rarity of them. It's the laws that make them so limited in number. What it is, right? And but the Glock 18 is a weird piece because it came out right that same year, and now some people say there are no transferables of the Glock 18s. So there may not be. I might have misspoke. You know, one story is there's just a handful, and a lot of people say no, there's none. There's really none. There were none in this country in anybody's hands that did paperwork, got them, you know, before under the wire, and '86, and so there are none really. And so you pretty much have to be a manufacturer, have the SOT, the various licenses, a dealer in order to even own one. Not that many floating around. So So anyway, so it's a weird piece in that sense, and that's one reason you don't see that many of them or get a chance maybe to shoot that many. Although the thing is, there are some big gun shops around the country now. People have learned over the years, decades, that hey, people are willing to pay money to shoot a fully automatic firearm. In a lot of ways, that's the best way to do it. You don't have to buy one yourself and go through all that expense and everything. And sometime save up some money, and now what would be now today, but generally speaking, you can go into a gun shop. I know in Nashville there's a couple, and gosh, Las Vegas, they're around the country, shops that have them, a lot of shops. Go in and pay your whatever, $50, $100, $200, depending on what you want to shoot, how many rounds, you know, how many magazines, and you can have the experience. Yeah, people do it all the time. I know at Royal Range in Nashville, Royal Range USA, who help us some in that regard. They have a 50, I think. They have you name it, M60. You can go, you can see it here. That's the M60 we did the videos with here. And go there and fire the thing. I've had people write me and tell me, yeah, I fired that same M60 you had in the video. Just go there and pay your bucks, and I don't know what it costs, but you can do that. So if you really want to try one of those, that's the way to do it. Even Glock 18s, there's shops that have those and will rent them. I've seen comments on that before. So if you want to see if I started to say, if you want to have that thrill, maybe you just want to see if it is that big a thrill, you know, to shoot a select firearm. So anyway, that was fun, and we actually had a couple of little short videos you haven't seen yet that we did with it, regardless of what becomes of that one, that we'll post down the road. And but you'll know when we do a follow-up video. We'll let you know that's the follow-up video. If you see it just randomly somewhere in something else, you'll know it probably occurred before that, right? Before today, actually. So anyway, what else? Oh man, oh yeah, on the high point video, hope you enjoy it. There wasn't a high point video, it was just comparing different price ranges, right? And it's so funny, there's no way I could win, because if anybody, not just me, but if you're not really kind to a high point, then of course you get slammed for being a snob. And in that video, I think I was pretty nice to the high point. And I actually got accused by a couple of people I saw that asked me if I was getting paid by high, or seriously thought I was getting paid. And they sent me a check or something like that. That's why one of my themes on Sundays is you've got to do what feels right and what you want to do. I mean, within reason. Do what you want to do, and as they say, let the chips fall. I'll put it nicely. Let the chips fall. Don't worry about it, because there are going to be people that don't like you. There are going to be people who disagree with you. You know, that margin. It could be a big margin. I don't know. Maybe everybody hates you, but generally speaking, if you're doing something worthwhile, it's just a percentage. You know, whatever, 3%, 2%, 1%, 5%, 8%. I don't know. Depends on what you do and how much you bring the hate on. You know, how controversial you might be. Some people try to be controversial just to get clicks, you know, so I'm not really talking about that. But just whatever you're doing, you might decide to start a channel where you're going to review pickup trucks, and you just like pickup trucks, you're a mechanic, you're really good at fixing things up or body work or whatever, and you will be surprised. It'll be funny. I mean, it's funny. It happens to everybody on some level. And the weird things that'll come at you. You know, how you didn't realize all these years you were doing that wrong. You know, it's worked for you and everybody you know, but you're doing it wrong, you idiot. I mean, that's what you'll see, you know. And but mostly, you know, people appreciate what you're doing. You know, that's the thing. But anyway, it's funny. It's just really funny. And as everybody knows, we don't get any help from gun companies. You know, never have, never will, really. Now, I will say early on, we took a few firearms from some mostly obscure companies that were after us. They would review our AR, you know, and I don't know, we don't want to charge you to do that. We don't do paid reviews, you know, and they say, well, just keep it, you know. I said, well, I don't know. Maybe we will. We hadn't done anything like that before. So we had a couple of those. I think we've pretty much given all those away. Might be, I don't know, we just don't have many of that kind. I've donated a couple of guns that we we got like that. Let's see, with the Howdah 410 Howdah from Pedersoli, they gave us that, which you always know when a gun is given to us. That was years ago, and there's not a lot of competition for that. Again, that's one reason we did take a few of those early on. And I donated that to the Tennessee Firearms Association auction last year, that one. And the year before that, what did I donate? Oh, it was that Sharps that Lyman gave us. Yeah, I donated it to the Tennessee Firearms Association. You know, not that I had this big extreme feelings of guilt. It's just that if I'm going to donate something and it was, I'll tell you, that was free. It was a really expensive gun. It could bring some nice money and so that kind of deal. But by and large, we're out of even. We don't even do that anymore. Haven't for a long time. So we just want to be totally independent, and I've talked about that already too much over the years. So what was I going to talk about? Gosh, I didn't get a hold of John. I don't think he has anything coming up that he wanted me to announce. Keep track of his Instagram and his Facebook. John Hickok. He'll keep you abreast of that in case I forgot something about his comedy schedule. He was just out west, and maybe some of you saw him that are watching in Tucson, and got back recently. Gosh, can I shoot the gun? Oh man, my brain might freeze out here. It's kind of chilly. Oh yes, what do I have? I have these Sharps. Yep, the Shiloh Sharps. And man, this thing's nice. When did I buy this? 3 years ago, I guess. And we just done one video with it, really. And it was one they had in the shop. They keep a list of firearms at their site, of firearms that they actually have for sale. Maybe somebody bailed out on, or I don't know, sent in a deposit and then couldn't afford to pay the rest of it, or just whatever it is. And I'm not sure how they work exactly. I have not ordered one from them. I just 5 years, or whatever it takes to get one. I've just never done that. I've relied on just finding one. I had one many years ago. I ran across in a gun shop, actually. And so I'm not sure how that works, how much of the money you need to give them up front, because I don't think they worry about it too much. They know they can sell them in about 10 minutes if you bail out. So under normal times, they'll have one or two or maybe 4 or 5, just there. They call it the gun room or gun rack or something, and they had this one. They had several, and I kind of like this one. It's really nice. A little heavier barrel maybe than I would choose, but it's not bad. So it's a little shorter than one I had back in the day, so I kind of like this. And the caliber, 45-70. I'm a bit of an addict to the 45-70. Let's shoot something else. I'm on a streak. I haven't missed yet. Let's say it's test the accuracy, long range. Put one on the target. Yeah, man. Right there. Gosh. Got some in the red. It's pretty accurate. Appreciate everybody's help and ballast saw and Talon grips. So, I lost something. I had a thought there. What was it? What was it? About one of those people that helps us, and I forget what it was I was going to say, or maybe it was something else. Maybe it'll come to me. Maybe it's just too cold for me to think very clearly. What's my excuse on a warm day? Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, but these things are sweet. After firing a machine pistol this week, I was just in the mood for a change of pace. Get out something that is, it's not select fire. It just has one setting, and that is for slow fire, one round at a time. Why'd I take my ears off? Because I'm going to shoot again. Let's pop 2 later. How about that green one right there? Yeah, we've already awakened Mr. Gong. Look at the smoke. Isn't that nice? Is that sweet, or is that sweet? You might be sick just like me and love that. Gun smoke. And you can probably even see it down the barrel. I don't know. Oh, I see it coming out the end. Gun smoke. Look at that. Is that cool? Yes. Yep. I know. I'm sick. I can't help it. Can't help it. Old Buffalo rifle, pretty cool. Oh man. So yeah, the the ammo shortage is really apocalyptic almost, isn't it? And I've taken inventory on what I've got and staying in touch with the federal and the things that I really need, and in order to just keep going, and they're trying to get that, so kind of like asking what we need for the next, couple of 3 months, and trying to get that in the hopper, and just different things. One thing that is I see a comment occasionally of somebody like really almost resentful that we have ammo and I'm able to shoot. It's like, yeah, I've answered a couple. I don't mean to be snarky, but hey man, going to quit doing videos. Okay, that'll make you feel better. We just won't do any videos, and we'll just play the socialism game. And if you don't have ammo, then I shouldn't have ammo. And that's one approach. And I can do that, but I'd rather keep doing videos, especially since we planned ahead and have some ammo. And I really try to plan like a year out on that sort of thing. But so I think I should be rewarded and not criticized because I got a little ammo. I was going down into my secret cavern, and just a little bit ago, there's an ammo can, and it had a list on it, had 223 on it, and 640 rounds it had marked on it. And that's like an ancient can. I haven't looked in that thing in, I don't know, 10 years. I don't even know what kind of ammo is in there. It might be federal, but it's just as likely to be something else I got back in the day. That's just a can that I had and kind of stocked up, and I don't know why it's 640 rounds. It's probably boxed ammo, right? But I got boxes like that and just different things. I just have always kind of tried to work ahead so I would have enough ammo, particularly if you're my age. If you're even 30 years old, you should have had the experience of going through these crazy periods of time like Sandy Hook and everything else, and know how guns and ammo just gets scarfed up all of a sudden, and that it might be hard to get, or might be way more expensive in a couple of years. And just I've just been through that so many times. It's just I don't even have to think about it. I don't even have to plan. When all this is over, please not everybody run to the gun shop and try to buy everything they have. But when it does get better, just do that old dollar cost averaging thing, as everybody talks about with investing. You're in a gun shop, just make it part of your weekly paycheck allotment or whatever. You just buy a box of whatever the ammo you shoot the most of. You shoot mostly 40 or 45, whatever. Just pick up a box of 45 when you're in there, like every week. Yeah, or just every month, or whatever you can afford. And whether you shoot or not that month, and just have some ahead. Really, you don't have to go crazy and order 20 cases, but just pick it up to where you don't miss the money so much, and you've got a nice little stash. As time moves on and there's a shortage, you're still okay. You can shoot some, and I don't know. Just my advice, whatever it's worth. It's a little late now if you got caught short, because it really is apocalyptic. Wow, it's crazy. Just it's worse than the toilet paper shortage back in the spring, and it's just like the cupboards are bare. It's bizarre, isn't it? Can I take another shot? But yeah, I got ammo out here. All right, I'm just shooting some 300 grain stuff, federal here. Trying to stay warm. I need to shoot really fast and put my hands on the barrel. How's that? To warm them up. Should we hit the gong again? Let's try that coffin over there, too. I think it will withstand one of these rounds. All right. Popped him. Now with the old Sharps 1874 like this, you want to bring the hammer back to the first notch before you open up the hatch there, okay? So you don't break the firing pin or anything. But these are such a classic design. As I've said before, it's heavy. There are probably more buffalo I've read that were killed with just plain old surplus trapdoor Springfields, back in the day. or not surplus, but yeah, the trapdoor Springfields, the cheaper gun. Remington rolling blocks, especially, I think is what I meant to say, but both of those. Then with these, but we think of these, the old 1874 Sharps as, man, the Buffalo rifle, the Buffalo rifle. And as I understand, these were more expensive. And most hunters, I don't know, a lot of serious hunters may have had these, but then a lot of the hunting, the buffalo hunting and the buffalo that were taken, bison, were taken by like your average Joe that just went out to get one or two. Maybe he was a farmer or whatever, and to supplement income and that sort of thing. Weren't just major operations. Went out and killing and skinning 50 in a day or anything like that. So not everybody had a really nice rifle. Okay, I need a really nice one because I do a lot of buffalo hunting. Yeah, I don't have a lot of excuses, do I? I don't have a lot of excuses for anything. Although I try to make them up, don't I? Oh man, I love it. I love this brisk weather. It's just so nice. Oh boy. Whew. What was I going to talk about? You know what? This reminds me of climate justice, right? I'm sorry, I don't mean to get political. I do think that vocabulary is interesting. You got to, one of the things I always admonish everybody, young people, we've got to watch politically. We got to watch the powers that be, whoever that might be, trying to rule over us. Watch the language. Read George Orwell, 1984, Animal Farm. It's all there. Some it's a line out of Animal Farm. Some animals are more equal than others. So you see these words thrown around. Equality, equity is a new one, right? Justice, I mean, any kind of, well, excuse me. Oh, well, that's funny. I had the speaker on, and I'll turn it off, but when you get a call, okay, it was actually my phone ringing, which I've never heard it ring like that. But I'll call it back. But yeah, like I said, you got to watch the language. Gosh, justice. There's a lot to be said for. Oh gosh, I don't know. Fairness is another word. Depends on what you mean by it, isn't it? Fairness. Even though life isn't fair, we shoot for it, don't we? We shoot for it. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who think they know how things should be run and live in an idealistic world. And so when they say something like economic justice, they're really talking about socialism, really, right? Redistribution, that's what they're talking about. Because if you even use that phrase, economic justice, that tells me you don't really believe in a free market. Things, supply and demand, things working that way, kind of through the natural course of things. Just by economic justice, it's like you're talking about your kids and their allowance and spreading it out evenly or something, But anyway, you got to watch the language. The words like that. Assault is one of those, isn't it? Put assault on a gun and start calling something an assault rifle, and it changes the whole conversation. Sometimes it puts the other side on the defensive in a lot of ways, and we spend all of our time trying to explain that word to people that anything is an assault. This is an assault rifle if I assault somebody with it. And likewise, that Glock 18 is not an assault pistol, right? Unless you assault somebody with it. So safety is another good one, another little vocabulary lesson today. Justice, equity, equality, fairness, assault, safety. How is it used? How's it used? As I think I said last week, a week before, gun safety, be careful of that phrase, unless it's a firearms trainer using it, right? Or you explain to your friends how to be safe. But if it's a politician and they even utter the phrase firearms safety, you know what they mean. They're looking at control. So vocabulary is important. Newsflash, words mean things, okay? and often have double meanings, and they're used to fool people. All right, so gotta watch it. Gotta watch that. What else was I going to talk about before I take another shot? Before I freeze. Before I freeze. Woo! Yeah, what the... Huh. I know what to do. Well, I might just cut and return this phone call because it's trying to ring again. And I think it's John. So I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to pretend I didn't, and I'll be right back. What'd I tell you? I didn't stay gone long, did I? That was John calling. Like I said, I don't always answer the phone. It depends on, well, I never answer the phone if I don't know who it is. And I do have people trying to reach me, look me up and all that kind of thing. And but even if it's somebody I know, you know, if I'm in the middle of something, I'm pretty sure it's not an emergency. Plus they'll call back and all. But I happen to know John was in the neighborhood and he was going to make, so he dropped by. Anyway, just, so anyway, yeah, be careful of vocabulary, and as I said, you got to look, you got to read between the lines of what people are saying, what they really mean by it, and what their agenda is. If you know them, you know their background, you can kind of piece some of that together, right? Be careful of that word justice. I'm all for freedom justice, right? The perfect amount of freedom is what I'm interested in, and that's up to us and to the Constitution, the way I look at it, right? So I always say I know that there are people who've not had maybe proper justice in this country and others, and it's really sad that has happened. And but I don't want to create a socialistic state, communist state, in order to make up for some of that, really. But that's just me. But it is, life just isn't fair. It really is not. Just look around. Go walk to a hospital, as I've said. You know, look at some of the people born really, really ugly, like me, or people who have like no talent at all, really low IQ, even lower than mine and maybe yours, and just gonna have a tough time in the world. You know, it's you know, life really is not fair, is it? Just but we all deserve an equal opportunity, as much of an equal opportunity to succeed as we can, and then go from there. You know, it's about I think the best we can hope for in a free country, at least. So anyway, enough on that. I don't know. You know, one thing I had a note here I wanted to mention. I meant to mention last week was about I saw a comment. A guy said, what did he say? He saw me on a board somewhere, a militia forum, I guess. I don't know. And he saw me over there and was real put off and said, I'm out of here, you know, since I saw you participating on that. I don't even know what it was, but again, just another reminder. Well, for one thing, I'm not a member of any militia forums or anything. I'm not going to really talk about militias. Militias can be very patriotic thing, or you could have some weird militia that's not. You know, we all know there's lots of different probably militia groups in the country. But anyway, I'm not a part of that, and I'm not yay or nay on it. I'm just not a part of any militia discussion group. Okay. And the reason I make a big deal out of that is, again, there are imposters out there. You know, I find it when I'm trying to set up a username somewhere, you know, that just for whatever reason, I don't know why you would do that or be an imposter. It's kind of scary that somebody would, because you can't help but wonder if they're doing it to be malicious or to make me look bad, make me look worse than I am, right? So anyway, just be aware of that, you know, imposters, if you ever see one. And y'all are pretty good about letting me know about that sort of thing, and also about when you see videos used or misused and that sort of thing. We have a hard time running all that down. Don't have time. I get a lot of notifications about news media around the globe. It could be in Australia or anywhere that they're using some piece of our video you know, like I talked about with bump stocks last year, you know, after the Vegas shooting, they had me shooting a bump stock. It was real. It was me shooting a bump stock, you know, full auto it looked like, and you know, to show how effective they are, and they're like a machine gun and all that. That's why that was kind of a traumatic, not traumatic, but it was, wow, a crazy week. But so they just pull stuff like that from our videos, and you know, you can't run all that down and sue everybody on the planet, you know, to save our chips on that. But anyway, just be aware of that, okay? And I don't worry about it too much because I don't have a history of going around the internet and hassling people or insulting people. I just don't. As I've said before, if I'm on somebody else's video, if I leave a comment, I make sure, I know a little bit about the language, and I make darn sure that I don't say something, if I leave a comment, that can be interpreted as an insult or snarky or anything like that. You know, that's you got to really think to avoid that sometimes too. You know, because I like to be, you know, me, I'm a sarcastic kind of person, or think I'm funny and will write something, you know. So I usually don't leave anything because it could come off that way. Because I'm just always a cut up, it seems like, right? So I have to discipline myself because, I mean, I know, I mean, who knew? Why would I have this impression or this approach to life? You know, because some people don't, right? But if someone's doing a video and I'm watching any part of it, you know, who am I to criticize them about anything they do or anything they say? Really, I don't, you know, that's their thing, you know. I'll let other people take that task on. It's not my job to govern the world or insult this person, or, you know, that's just, I just don't do that anyway. It's just not even a part of my approach. So it would really be an accident. Same on a forum or somewhere, if you ever saw me. I don't participate as much in the forums as I used to. I used to be on Glock Talk a lot, but I just don't have time to go over a lot of the places and do that. I try to answer some of your comments, you know, and of course messages. I just can't get to them all. And the messages, I wish I could. You know, it's just, and a lot of people don't get out much. It's, you know, not to be insulting, but a lot of people just don't get out of the house much. Apparently, well, nobody does these days, right? I still will occasionally. Someone was really mad because the other day I saw someone wrote me a message on Facebook that, well, now that you're a big shot, you just can't answer somebody, can you? I think it's because I didn't answer. I think that one was I didn't answer their comment on a video or something. I don't think it was even a message. You know, I can't get all of any of it, and they were just really insulting, you know, about that. You know, I said, wow, you know, I mean, you know, if I had about 1,000 clones, I could do that, but. Again, some people, young people maybe, or maybe not young people that just don't get out much. I mean, literally, you know. And so sometimes I can be. I'm not Mr. Perfect. If you say in a comment occasionally, I'll give somebody a little bit of a hard time about something they say maybe. But it's usually just I'm being a little sarcastic or snarky or, you know. Yeah, like that. Okay, if I saw a comment on video, someone is giving me a hard time, you think you're a big shot now, you can't even answer my comment or something like that, you know, I might write something like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, you know, I've gotten to 499 or 499,000 of the comments, but I just can't get to that last millionth or 5 millionth comment or something like that, you know, but I don't ever mean to be mean, okay? I might be mean unintentionally, right? But not intentionally usually. Okay, but enough on that. Just be aware that there are imposters out there, and you should be able to tell because why? Well, all the things I just talked about, but also they're just not going to be as brilliant as I am, right? You should be able to tell they're just nowhere close to me in terms of IQ, right? Oh yeah, I wish, huh? What do I make shoot? Okay, propane tank. I shook him. Oh, get that. Big old case. It's a big one, isn't it? There it says on their back, on the head, 4570. I don't know if you can read that, if it's out of focus, but 4570 government. G-O-V-T, government. Yep. I see comments, someone will say on a 4570 video sometimes, the 4570, the only government I trust, or something like that. It's always pretty clever, right? Let's shoot it again, can I? Can we hit the gong again? I mean, since you came. All right. Sunday, why do I keep taking my ears out? You know what I should have done? I should have worn my muffs, then my ears wouldn't be so cold. All right. Yeah, boy, it rocks it. It rocks it. Ah, smells good. So, what else? You know, speaking of, yeah, I probably won't go as long here. I really will wrap up here a little bit. It's pretty cold. And I bored you last week for an hour and a half. I apologize. I did, I think I told you I have in progress, speaking of Class 3 firearms, I do have myself an AK. It's the Chinese Type 56, you know, with the folding bayonet attached and everything. I bought the thing, started buying the thing, seemed like about a year ago, almost, because I had to go through 2 people and all this, and I'm kind of midway on that. You know, it's at Royal Range now, and I've got another, who knows, 5, 6, 8 months, I don't know. So this is January, maybe by the end of this year I'll have it, I don't know. So I'm in the progress of that. I think I've told you all that maybe, but yeah, it is a Type 56 Chinese AK, and again, I know I've talked about this, the Chinese back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, made some great AKs, okay? Considered by many experts to possibly be the best AKs. Maybe even better than the Russian AKs, okay? So it's not like, oh, you guys like I bought some Chinese tools or something, okay? They actually, and I don't know if they still do, but they used to make incredible AKs. I mean, it's one of them, so it's really nice and in pretty good shape. So, but anyway, same old deal. It's a transferable one, right? That's the difference. It can be owned by anybody if you're legal and you live in a state that where you can own them. I think it's 40 or 42 states you can own, you know, Class 3 or, you know, submachine guns or suppressors and that sort of thing. And so and we may get it out here sometime this spring, you know, or maybe Royal Range will bring it out, and because you know they need to be here with the paperwork on that one, and be here for you me to shoot it. So I don't know if we'll do a video then or wait till I actually take possession or what. The cool thing about this one, and I wasn't really, you know me, I like all sorts of firearms, of course. I enjoy this as much. In fact, ironically, coincidentally, or ironically, both, I'm gonna lose my train of thought here, but the reason I sold my first Shiloh Sharps, since I happen to have this with me today, my first one had a longer barrel than I really wanted. I just walked in on it too by chance, but I couldn't pass it up. It was a really long barrel, 32 or 40 inch, 34 inch maybe, and I had it for a few years and enjoyed it, but I liked it, but I don't know. Oh yeah, okay, I was about to go backwards on that, lose my train. What I did was I sold the Uzi in order to pay for it, basically, okay? And so I had a full auto firearm, select fire, my Uzi I had for about 10 years. And I actually, in order to get something like this, I sold it. So that kind of tells you how weird I am and have been. I like a lot of different firearms, and then here I am now again getting back into one of those. I can take them or leave them, but they're kind of cool, and you know, guns are what I do. I like firearms, and so you know, there you go. But one of the things that attracted me to it, John found it from somebody he's dealt with, and let me know the guy had it, because I'd always said if I ever got another select fire firearm, I think I'd just get an AK, you know, and just, I don't know, be different maybe, but I like that round and everything. AK is so classic. And the thing about this one is it's in good shape, but also the sear is what's registered on this one, okay? And that's not always the case. So it's not like the receiver of the gun, it's the sear, just the sear. In fact, look on the side of it, you got the serial number, but that's not really the key serial number. It doesn't really mean it. The serial number on the sear that's been etched on there is what it's registered as. That's what's on the paperwork. And in fact, it was a little confusing to me at first. I thought they had the serial number wrong. So what I did was I paid a lot of money, really, for a little sear I could put in my pocket. And the beauty of that, though, is if I want to, I can. Now I can't mix and match and take it apart and put it in this gun today. And that, you know, but if that gun breaks, or I just decide, you know what, I think I would like a full auto SAM 7, my arsenal, to be my full auto select fire AK. I could do that if I wanted to. I'd have to destroy, as I understand, the Chinese AK Type 56 I have, but I could do that. I could do it because it was converted too. It's an AKS, Chinese, made in the early '80s. So it's not like it was some bring back from Vietnam. It was made that way, and have that kind of value. It'd been too expensive. I wouldn't have bought it anyway. But so that was part of the attraction. All right, it wears out. It doesn't matter. I will always have that if I want that select fire AK, a select fire AK. I could get a Wasser, make it full auto, or just any of them, and then destroy the Chinese version. So it's especially attractive, especially then if I want to sell it. By the time I get it, I might be tired of it, right, and want to sell it, but I'll be able to move that one pretty easily if I ever want to. But so anyway, yeah, I'm back in that game. It's just a long process, and I don't lose any sleep over it. I don't even think I forget about it actually. So, but I had a note to talk about that several different weeks. I forget about it. So, anyways, yeah, you'll see that coming someday. If I live long enough to get it, Type 56. I really wanted that. Fold-out bayonet, because I thought it might make a nice deer rifle too. Because sometimes you need that. What else was I going to talk about? Well, advice. Do I have any advice for young people? No, I don't know nothing about young people. I do miss teaching young people. I miss picking on them. I really do, and giving them lame advice. Whether they want it or not. Captive audience. It's kind of funny. Now I'll just give you a little advice. Just try to do something useful, in your life, as I've said before, and avoid the life of a troll and a hater. Try, everybody's on the internet all the time, so it's really easy. I talk about that a lot, I know, but we're all on the internet so much. It's something to guard against, especially if you're young. Just because you see everybody else, I don't know, hating and trolling and everything, that's just kind of their thing. It's all they do. Try not to fall into that. Try to do something useful in your life, and then also maybe online, do something useful. Maybe help people. Maybe do something really unusual online, and don't be a troll and a hater and just go around looking for people to make fun of or to hate on or something like that. Maybe the internet in your generation could become something a little different, or social media could become something actually useful. I mean, look at what's happening, nationally, internationally, with social media and just big tech and the way everything is going. Maybe your generation can improve all that, make it more open-minded, and tolerant, and that anybody can participate. So I don't know. Just a thought. For one thing, think about this, Mr. 15-year-old, Mrs. 15-year-old, whoever, it's probably Mr. mostly, right? if you go around hating on people, or it could be Mr. 40-year-old, go around hating on people and you're just looking for negative things to say and that kind of, you do realize that when you do that, and you see it, don't you? You see it. It screams to the reader. Now, I think a lot of people think it's like, oh, look at me, isn't this cool? I said that, or whatever. I pointed that out, or this guy's an idiot, actually, and I'm the only one who can see it, whatever it might be. So we feel a little smart maybe when we do it. But you do realize, I hope, that it screams low self-esteem. It screams a lack of confidence, as well as a lack of class. But if that's what you're about, if you're doing that, a lot, you're making videos that are like that, just tearing down other people, it screams lack of self-confidence. It really does. And Mr. Know-It-All or Mrs. Know-It-All and screams all those things, lack of class, the whole 9 yards. You do realize that. It is something to think about if you care what people's impression of you is. Okay. So my little lesson for the day, my little psychology lesson for the day. So anyway, this is the way the world is today. It's the life we live, and we're online, and it's going to happen. It just is. You got to know that's going to happen. I know it's going to happen to us. And there's a certain amount of it, just like having Tucker Carlson on. There's a certain percentage of people that were very upset, very small, huge percentage of people that just love him and really enjoyed seeing him here. And it's a calculated decision. We knew there'd be some people, like I said last week, don't want to alienate people because of politics. There's enough of that going on, but we expected that. Even some people on my personal Facebook, I know there's a person or two, just really not very happy apparently about that. But I think part of that is people are not sure, and it's been this way a long time in my life. There are some people that I have been friends with, or acquaintances, colleagues, that not really sure where I stood politically. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think my students couldn't have told you probably, and that's the way I wanted it. But I had colleagues or just other friends, maybe family, weren't really sure about my politics, probably because I'm kind of in the middle and I'm more libertarian than anything. But and I can be kind of left on some things and right on some things and all that. And sometimes I surprise people. That's all I can say. And probably disappoint people. I'm so sorry. I want to please everybody, don't you? Can I shoot again? I really am going to let you go now. Okay, real soon. All right. Okay. Oh, you know what? I haven't done any bowling. Let's just bowl a little bit. Wow, knocked him off there, doesn't it? And let's put one more on this target. All right. Admit it, if you were fooled by that, right? You thought I was going to get 2 shots out of a single shot. So, that's a beautiful rifle. And we like I said, just done one video with this rifle. This beautiful 1864 or 74 Sharps. That's the model, and it's not made in 74. It's made I don't know, 5 years ago. The Shiloh Sharps company makes these. And it's pretty wood and everything. They're considered one of the best makers, the replicas. You've got also, C Sharps, is that the name of the company? They have a really good reputation too. And I don't think I've ever handled one of theirs. I think they're back ordered, I guess, like everybody else. But anyway, these are cool rifles. You people that have single shots know what I mean. Of any kind. There's just something special about them and fun to shoot. I put the little extender on mine, makes it more better. And I really do need to get that thing out on a warmer day and enjoy it some more. Okay, it's a great thing to shoot too during an ammo apocalypse. a single shot. You don't need to shoot it a lot of times, and it's just a lot of fun. So I will let you go, and I'm gonna go home and get warm up my toes. So I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know anything else, and I do appreciate y'all coming in on Sunday, because I'm going the extra mile and I'm coming over here and freezing. I enjoy it even when it's cold. I always say, well, it's really cold, but I'll just make it short, you know. And I never do, right? I try to just get over here and start freezing, and then whatever. But I didn't bring 3 or 4 firearms, and that's typical too. If you're going out to shoot on a day like this when it's cold, or me, I'm not gonna, let's go out and I like to shoot this and that, and I hadn't shot that in a while. You know, you just can maybe get one firearm out. You haven't shot much for a long time, and so it's cold and low on ammo, so let's just get one gun out that we really enjoy. And this is another firearm that when I get into the guns, one of my gun safes, it's right there in the front, and I see it a lot. And I tell you, every time I think, yeah, I need to shoot that. I'd like to shoot that, but I don't. I forget. It's terrible, huh? Terrible. So, okay, I don't know anything else to tell you that is worth anything, and not like anything I did tell you was, but we'll keep you posted on the Glock 18. And we're in the heart of winter. Normally right now I'm out west, SHOT Show, and but this year I'm here freezing talking to you. Last year I was probably out there talking to you from Tucson or somewhere, right? And I just found out, I'm so dumb, I didn't realize, I never go to the NRA website, that they have changed the dates of the NRA meeting. It was going to be in, you know, as always, in May or into April, whenever it was, in Houston. And now it's rescheduled for September. So I got to hustle and change my reservations. So I didn't realize that. I really thought that, I don't know, if things are going to be good enough that they would have it, you know, in May, or clear up enough people vaccinated or whatever, to have it at least the way it's always been, you know, huge crowds of people, what, 90,000 or something. So hopefully by September, you know, that'll be possible. And, you know, enough people, the herd immunity, hopefully, and the vaccinations to the point where it, you know, got herd immunity, basically, okay? So anyway, hope to see a lot of you there. I'm sure we will. It's the greatest, again, I'm not going into the politics of the NRA, but it's the greatest gun show on planet Earth other than the SHOT Show. And of course, everybody can't get into the SHOT Show, but the NRA meeting is is just the greatest gun show of all time, basically, you know, the exhibit hall. So anyway, I'm going to shut up, and I am going to let you go. And I will see you all next week, hopefully. Again, the weather could be so bad. I just step out on the porch and say, hi, everybody. Have a good Sunday. And I'll fire one shot off the porch and say bye-bye. Okay? It's not like you won't make it through the week without my brilliance. But that does remind me, I need to get a nice balmy day and do a backup Sunday shoot around, you know, and admit that's what it is. But and then I could post in on that day, right? Just shoot something, talk about it, and let you know. I'm not trying to fool you. I did this probably weeks ago or something, you know, or I did it in the future. Okay. I'm gonna let you go before I get silly. The temperature actually, I think, gets it through my ears into my brain and begins to affect my thinking ability. You know what you're saying? How would we know, right? Yeah. Well, y'all take care. Have a good week, and I appreciate your support. See, my nose is running. I'm getting so cold. I'm gonna cry. I want to sign off properly. So y'all have a good week. If it's too cold where you are to shoot, or you don't have any ammo, or you don't have any guns, well, if you don't have a gun, you can't get out and clean it. But if you have a firearm, just get them out and clean them a little bit, okay? Wipe them off, watch a good shooting movie, shooting video or something, and you can get through that way. So go back and watch the zombie, Strain 100. Okay? We'll talk to you all later. Life is good.